Good morning, everyone. So today is the 7th of April. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Unbelievable day in La Sable d'Olonne, just a gentle breeze. It's actually even a little bit mild and stuff. So it's sort of like a weekend. So I'm going to waffle on a bit this morning and I'm going to be very bold because everyone likes to prove me wrong. I'm going to predict a winner of the GGR. Okay, it's pretty radical, but there's some interesting things going on. And it's my personal opinion. It's not official GGR statement. This is just me having a bit of fun at Easter. I hope you're all relaxed and getting ready for fun. In Australia, everyone goes camping. You used to get out there and get into it. But anyway, before we get into that, I'll just get over here and I just give you another reminder of a very important aspect of the GGR website. It's this one. You just scroll down. It says follow the race. Some of you might be new. We're getting more and more people joining who aren't sailors. They're just having a bit of fun. So this little console here, when you scroll down from the sorry,
the screen not changing.
The screen's not changing. Why is the screen not changing? Jane just said the screen's not changing. Let's see. No, it's showing on me. Oh, I know. Solo one. Nope, that's not right. What's going on here? Not off to it. Sorry? It's on there now. Okay, so I'm just sorry about that little distraction. Jane's watching over my shoulder just to let you know she's here. Now I can't find it. Here it is. Okay, I'm back on. All right, so that's the what you're watching now. The historical record every day is there on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and follow it. That's Seb's daily written reports. This is the SoundClouds. You can hit that and go to it. You want to go straight to the tracker, it's there. And you've got boat tours of all the entrants here. We did that at the start here in La Sable d'Olonne before the boats left. It's sort of like a 20-minute or half an hour tour around the boat, talking to the skipper about some of the features and stuff. These are the film drop videos. Now, Rob's, a few things going on, but anyway, the live, not live, the footage from the onboard cameras for Cape Town to Hobart are going to be coming up straight after Easter. I've been promising this for about 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. We had some issues initially, but it's all sorted, and Rob's getting some time to do that. He's been really busy, lots going on. Anyway, this is the latest news. That's our press releases, newsletters going out to all subscribers. We've got about 12,000 or 12,000 and building subscribers there. Entrant tweets, you've got the whole list of them there. This one's a lot of fun. I love the summary highlights. That's the whole race in a few minutes. You can scroll down for all the key things that have happened one at a time. So that's cool. The technical galleries from the skippers, you can access them from the skipper pages. So if you get onto the profile of all the skippers, which is here, you can hit any of these skippers and go direct to all their particular details. The technical galleries are fun if you're a sailor and you want to look at all the different aspects. You might get some tips for your own boat. That's all the onboard footage. Sorry, I was saying this was the footage. It's not. This is the film drop lives. So when the entrants come through the film drops in Lanzarote, Cape Town and Hobart, we covered, Ada and I covered it live. Jane was helping and others, the volunteers. You can go through them. They're a lot of fun to watch. And then this is the entrant onboard footage. So that's going to start next week. And also now we've collated all the question and answer sessions that I do usually every week or sort of every week. Some of them go for half an hour. Some go up to an hour. But it's just answering any random questions people have got about the GGR. So, and there's another one up now on Facebook this time. So YouTubers, you miss out, but Facebook people can put the questions there. And then the next week we'll be back to YouTube questions. Okay, so keep an eye out on that as well. Okay, so what's going to happen here? I need to go back to the live there. And where's the tracker? The tracker's, that's why. Sorry, I got to get to the tracker by hitting live. In fact, I'll go to the tracker just by hitting that. I've just hit that. The tracker's coming up. You've now got the tracker here, and I think all of you know this console is what's playing with. I'm going to hit that. It gives me the weather. I'm going for the windy weather on the tracker, and my bold prediction is going to be detailed at the end of this report. I'm going to tell you what's likely to happen, with assuming the weather is the same way, and who will be the likely winner of the GGR. And then you can all set off and try and prove me wrong. And Anyway, it's just a bit of fun, but there is an opportunity now to see all the way through to the finish. So we'll get into that. But before I even go there, I'm going to come on and we get a few people asking lots of different questions about what's going to happen when the boats finish. Well, first of all, I can tell you the weekend of the 24th and 25th is probably when the prize giving is going to take place. Okay, it's not official yet, but it's probably when it's there. And I just want to walk you through what's going to happen. Basically, all of the GGR entrants, that's everyone that started the race, is here from Les Sables d'Olonne, will hopefully be here in Les Sables d'Olonne. We have some parties and things going on Fridays with entrants and special bits and pieces, and then on the Saturday morning of the weekend, that's the official weekend, and it's not official yet. It may be the 24th and 25th, but if it was, on that Saturday morning, there is a big press conference here in the building for media and all the entrants. The first time all the entrants will be together since the start. So that's everyone. Edward and Damien and Guy Deboer, the whole lot. All of us will be there, and we speak to the press and they talk about what's going on. So it's quite a big one, very important, very popular. It's not for the public, but you'll be able to follow it live on Facebook. So that's the first thing that happens. Then in the afternoon, a few hours after the press conference, there'll be a big public open prize giving. So there'll be the big stage set up, the huge outdoor monitor screens showing produced videos of the whole race and music and bits and pieces. So it's quite an event, and we'll be expecting many thousands of people to come to that. It's on the foreshore of Les Sables d'Olonne, looking over the beautiful sandy beach there, and let's hope the weather's good, fingers crossed, which it usually is. Les Sables d'Olonne is famous. In fact, it's one of the world leading beaches, in the whole world. They are ranked as they haven't won it yet, but they're trying, but they're now ranked as one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, which is pretty cool. Hence, it's called Les Sands, which is the beach, Les Sables d'Olonne. So anyway, so that sort of has entertainment as well. There'll be some sort of music going on, concert and stuff, and so and then all the entrants are presented with their Golden Globe. Okay, no matter what happens. So even Edward, who was our first to retire after a few days, will actually get a Golden Globe. He's already entered in the 26th edition of the GGR. And there's various trophies, the Perpetual Trophy and so on. It's a pretty big day. So if you're thinking of coming to Les Sables d'Olonne, it's very much worthwhile because you might get to bump into the entrance and things like that. So it's a bit of fun. And then later that night, there's a big after party that Les Sables d'Olonne, who are a fantastic host for the race. This is a really big community thing, and the community love what's going on. So keep an eye on that. But as I say, it's not official yet. It hasn't been officially announced with the timeline for the weekend, but it may well be on the 24th, 25th of June if you think you're up for it. So then the entrants, when they come into the dock here, I'll just walk you through that as well. They will arrive, this is GGR entrance. So we've got 3 people in the GGR right now. But the Chichester class is a whole different ballgame. They're in the event, but they're not in the GGR, if that makes sense. The GGR are the 3 people racing for the trophies and so on. So when they arrive, they will come to the dock. And there'll be a dockside celebration. There'll be a section off piece for immediate team members, media, and organising stuff as they come in. So you can follow them down the river, and then they'll be alongside the marina out the front here, and they'll pop the champagne, and it'll be one of these. Where's the champagne bottle? It'll be one of these special edition GGR champagnes. Do all that sort of stuff. And then there'll be immediate questions from the media, and it'll all be Facebook Live. So if you're not here, you'll be able to follow them across the finish line. Ada and I will do a commentary coming down the river and all that sort of stuff. It'll be a fair bit of hype, so it'll be good fun. And then after that, with all the people on the marina, and we sunk the marina last time, but anyway, the little one that's a bridge there, it was quite not so good. So we've moved it to the main part of the marina, and there'll be. Then they do a walk under security. That we walk them up, and there's a big stage set up here in front of the building, and that's when the official sort of official celebration of the entrant. There'll be commentary, VIPs, a few bit of talking on the stage, and so on. So we'd expect quite a lot of people here as well. To welcome them back officially on the stage. And then after that, they'll go into a quiet room, eat some fresh fruit, and have a bit of fun with their immediate family and team members in the quiet. And while that's happening, a key thing is going on where the boat will have been moved over to the fuel dock. We fill up with fuel, work out time penalties and all that stuff. I went through that previously, so that when they then arrive at the press conference, we know what their official finishing time is, and it can happen there, and then the whole thing's over. So that's a big day. If you're thinking of coming down to see them in, that's what happens. And then with the Chichester class, when they're coming through, same thing again. We do the Facebook Live. We bring them down, and we talk about the whole thing, and they come alongside the dock. They get some champagne as well, but and everything will happen alongside the marina for Chichester class. So it's all going to be a bit of fun, and if you're around, it'll be a big day. So we're looking forward to that, and that's the lead into my whole thing about giving you a prediction on what's going to happen. So back to the tracker, and we'll see what's going on. I'll have a look at, after I make this prediction, I'm going to have a look at the, because we've got a bit of time today. Everyone's not working, you see. I'm going to have a look at all the comments on the Facebook here, because there'll be a lot of people that may not agree with me. I'm thinking, don't be stupid. They won't win. But anyway, I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. Okay, so now I've got to get onto the tracker here. I've got to go to a different screen so I can see what's going on. Look at them, 3 ducks in a row there, but we're going to go right to the back here now. And Ian is having a bit of fun there. Looks like gentle sailing still from the north, so he's going out to the east and doing 5.3, and he did 98 nautical miles yesterday, so not too bad at all. But yeah, this is the gentleman sailor. You can see that's a clear northerly wind, and his course made good. His course made good. Oops, Daisy, it's actually on here. Oh, hang on. Is 81 degrees, so he's tacking through 160 degrees at the moment. The true British gentleman. That's the classic example of the difference between Ian and Simon. Simon would be hardened up in that, going somewhere a little bit higher. But he's comfortable, and there's also, it's not, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting he should be doing anything else, but he's certainly looking after the boat, and he's moving quite well. So 5.3 knots. What's going to happen to his weather? I'll quickly just scroll this through. It's going to hold that northerly, northwesterly, so he might be heading over to the east a bit. It's going northwest, so he'll start to round up a little bit. This is a pretty interesting system here, that's quite looking quite interesting for sure. It's a reminder that you're not out of the roaring 40s yet. He's still in the 40, in the 40s for sure. There's the 40th parallel, and you can see this weather is all hanging around still. This is quite a demanding area, as we saw with the other entrants. So okay, so that's the 8th, so that's tomorrow, 36 hours ahead. And he's got he's got some southeasters, so that'll push him up, but then he's going to bounce into that as well. So, but by then he'll be over here. I think he's going to hold in this northwesterly for a while, but that'll kick him up a bit. So he's surrounded by average weather, average wind strengths, nothing real dramatic, and some troughs and so on. So I think Ian will be happy in the next couple of days, but it'll be a slow progress north, and overall he'll average in a northeasterly direction, which isn't too bad anyway. Jeremy, on the other hand, right now, he's doing 4.2 knots, sailing to windward in light conditions. If we build that up, you can see that looks like it's about 10 knots, 10 to 15 knots. Not too bad. The sea state will be right down. He'd much rather have a beam wind, but he's got a headwind, so but doing okay. He did 79 nautical miles in the last 24 hours, and 4.2 knots is okay. At least he'll be enjoying the sailing, listening to the music, thinking how good the world is, but there's not much breeze there. Boy, as we push this through, it's very light. So he's got some time to relax and reflect and look at the stars and the moon, big moon at the moment. Oh, it's getting a little bit down, but it was big the other day when we went to pick up that other boat. So, yeah, all very pleasant conditions, but not making a lot of progress. So there he goes. That's 36 hours of not much at all. And if we look at the big picture, he should be in the trades right now, but he's not. Yeah, this is normally roaring southeasterly trade winds, but it's a little bit open still. So anyway, not unpleasant, but not going fast. Captain Goog, as you're going through the doldrums, 1.8 knots, 40 nautical miles in the last 24 hours. Welcome to the doldrums. That's what we all know happens when you get there. And let's see here, all pretty much the same. Yeah, not a lot going on. He's got to just work his way through with the little local thunderstorms, and there goes 24 hours. Not much happening there. 24 hours, and then he might get a little bit of a puff there. So it's going to be. He might hold into that, might ride that through. As he's moving slowly, he gets a little bit. So it's still going to be slow. This is where the leaders. We've mentioned that. We've just done the press release actually. It's just going out now, so I'll share that on Facebook when I'm finished here, and you'll see it's what we're saying. There's a slingshot effect where Goog's caught up with the leaders, while they had to struggle through the doldrums, and now he got within 800 odd miles or something, and now he'll struggle to get through this over the next three or 4 days, and then the leaders are clearing out, so it'll go back, and he'll probably end up once again at about 11 or 1200 miles behind the leaders by the time he gets over to the trades. So anyway, there's a couple of days there. So not a lot to talk about with Goog, but he might not necessarily be relaxing, because let's have a look at the doldrums can be quite vicious. You get these squalls that come through, and depending on what happens, let's look at the clouds. Yeah, pretty average. Pretty average. It's very hard to say. I mean, there's rain here, rain there, rain over here. That means you can see it's very unstable, typical stuff. So, and personally, and most sailors do, they hate it when there's no wind. You've got to really work hard. You don't get much sleep. It's really boring. There's flat seas there. The currents aren't going to help him much. No, there's nothing much happening at all. So it can be hard work, and it gets frustrating. And then you start dreaming about the strong winds and the huge seas in the Southern Ocean. Anyway, that's part of the course. So let's get up here and let's start talking about a prediction after we look at what's going on for the first few days. So you can see Kerson's lost out a bit. And to give you a distance perspective, let's just go for an average distance from there to there. That just puts a size line. It's 250 miles. So that you can see roughly what's going on. And remembering where they want to go is about there. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. And Kerson's been doing 5.6 knots. She's well and truly in the trade winds now with the others. 97 nautical miles in the last 24 hours. That's pretty cool. And Abelish is doing 6.1 knots and done 94 nautical miles towards Les Sables d'Olonne on the Rum line, but he's also managing to get up high. He's still going high and making the most of this northeasterly, so he's making ground. So for the leaders, very interesting stuff for sure. For Simon, doing 6.2 knots, 111 nautical miles in the day. He's holding high, so he's absolutely sailing well. No question there. And what's going to happen in the next couple of days on the immediate weather for these guys and girls? It's more trade winds, so they've all pretty much got the same. You can see that coming through. Nothing's changing. This is what you can call the boring trade winds. But for the sailors themselves, it's challenging. The boat's on an angle, heeled over 20, 25 degrees, is slopping into sort of 2 meter seas, sometimes even bigger. You can see this colour over here. Abelish might have a bit more breeze, but it's not so relevant because they've all got pretty similar breeze. That's the first 24 hours, no change. The next 24 hours, coming through, you can see not much change at all. The big change for Abelish is the wind is swinging around. You can see this wind now is very much an east-northeasterly. In fact, it's getting very close to an easterly. That'll allow Abelish to head due north, right? You'll slowly see his course turn around like that and start heading due north. It's already starting to swing here for Simon as well. Okay, so there's a more east in this than like it's an east-northeasterly. Okay, so that'll let him hold even higher. Because he's pointing higher than Abelish on most of the situations. So he'll actually come up. So that's cool. And Kerson's still got a northeasterly or northeast. So lagging behind, being further to the east overall is affecting the direction of the wind. And you'll see that from now. So the next couple of days, not a lot of change. So that's there. But now here comes the big prediction. between Kirsten and Abelish, who is going to win the GGR? Now, this is a personal opinion, okay, a very personal opinion. But remembering, basically the first sailor who gets to the westerlies is likely to ride them through and get a huge boost. It's like when you clear out. It's like crossing. If you're the first to get to something and you just bolt, and the others are still struggling to get to that same weather, you get a huge jump in the way it goes. And let's just watch what happens to the weather going forward. So that's today's real-time weather. And if we saw what was happening in the first 2 days, but you've now got a system forming here. This is basically, I get mixed up here now, so because I'm thinking Southern Ocean all the time. So this is a big high. Okay, so this is a high forming up in the center of the Atlantic, and it's going around in a clockwise direction. Okay, so just watch this center, because you can see as it comes across, this is what's changing the wind direction. At the bottom of it, it's going from the east. Okay, and the top up here, it's coming from the west. And then it drops down there and comes up there. That's pretty obvious. So as this high moves across, and as the boats are sailing up here, the wind, as suggested, is going to go from the northeast. It's going to slowly swing around to the coming from the east. Okay, and that's what's going to happen here as Abelish is coming further north. All right, so that's just one day. That's the 8th. The 9th, you can see the center of that high starting to rotate. And I'll go through to there's the 9th, and I'll go through now to the 10th. Okay, here we come through, and you can clearly see this is forming up into the center of a center of a high. Okay, and it's going around that way. So this is the objective. This is the Azores, and so as mentioned, Abelish will start to turn around and come up in a northerly direction. And how long is it going to take to get there? Okay, so he's doing about 100 and something miles a day at the moment. So let's just say in 3 days, that's the 7th, 9th, we'll go through to the 10th. And you can see it's really starting to form up here. So there's the 10th. This is 3 days away. In 3 days, Abelish will probably be about 400 miles ahead. Okay, so let's just try. He's coming down to here. This is going to take time. If you've got to go and make a cup of coffee, you might as well go. He's going to be around about there. Now, if you blow that up, just so you can see what's going on here, see what's happened here. It's already gone to the east, right? So let's assume Abelish is there at this time on the 10th. He's got an easterly breeze, right? He's going to rocket north, right? Because he's the first one to get it. Because Kirsten, a similar situation, is if we bring this down now to Kirsten's position, first of all, further out to the east and a little bit further down. Okay, so she's going to be possibly around about here. You can see the difference straight away. This is coming from the northeast still, and over here, it's coming from the east, right? So Abelish will be able to pick up speed and go directly north, okay? And there's still going to be this Kirsten's not going to pull out any time on Abelish. She's going to be about the same distance down from where Abelish is, and Abelish is going to close this gap. And in terms of the course, he's not going to end out there. He's going to be going north. All right. So to come back to the big picture, again with him going north. Okay, as he goes north, it gets even better for him because he's going to come north and east. I reckon he's going to be coming over this way. He'll be starting to look about there anyway and heading up towards the Azores. Remember, this is where he's going to go. So that's on the 10th. If we keep walking this through, okay, you see the center of the high, this is the Azores high, is moving very reasonably clearly to the east. And what's that doing? It's dragging that wind further around, so eventually it's going to come behind Abelish, right? He's going to be here, and now all of a sudden he's got getting close to a southeasterly, right? And as he's got a southeasterly, Kirsten will be around about here with a northeasterly still, all right? She's going to come up here and try and hold up, and she'll be going slower but sort of slower, but there's less wind here. So as he gets the more favorable wind, it's going to soften off a bit, okay? So that's pretty distinct as well. But Aberlish is looking really pretty cool here. He's, this could cause a little bit of an issue, these calms. And on the 11th, that's the 7th, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 days away from there, he's going to be about 550, 600 miles. It's still looking pretty good. Certainly the wind direction here, right? This is the transition. This is the cusp where it's turning. And being out this side, it's still northeast. So you can see it's giving Aberlish a real advantage right through to the 11th. All right. And then going through, if you follow this to its conclusion of the weather we have, you got the 12th. What's happening now? The wind's filling in. And see how it's really hooking fast. And so Aberlish is going to be up here. He's definitely got a southeasterly, but on this side here, it's coming from the east. So when Kirsten got an easterly, Aberlish got a southeasterly. He can put up his secret sail. He can put up his spinnakers. He can just go for it. And he's now also aiming for the Azores. What he's got to be really careful of, and depending on this weather could change, of course, that he doesn't come across too far. This is when you really stare at your barometer heavily. You don't want to start seeing your barometer get higher and higher because you're going into the center and the wind gets lower and lower. You want to hook out here and hold the breeze, but he knows what he's doing. So if he does that, it's better. What's the options with Kirsten being out to the east here? It's not, not the same situation. Not bad, but it's not the same. And so anyway, keep going along, and what's happening, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right? And by this stage, Kirsten will be still behind Aberlish, and Aberlish will be coming along, and he's got a following breeze. He's got a tail breeze, and this is the lead in. So he could get a shift here. He could get a boost coming up behind him, and this is the lead in to whoever gets first to the westerlies, which is the big part. Now, it's a fair way ahead. We're on the 15th already, so that's nearly 8 days ahead. A week, things can change. But if he can hang on to that and get up here, here's the westerlies. They're quite strong. But this is the westerlies are formed the top end of the Azores high, okay. And boy, if he gets in here, it's a rocket ride across to the finish. And I really do think that Aberlish is in a commanding position, tactically in terms of the future weather forecast. And on that basis, it'd be quite possible that the Aberlish is looking as if he will absolutely be the first into the westerlies. There's still going to be some challenges here and so on, but generally speaking, Aberlish is in an absolutely commanding position for the finish. And that's my potential prediction, and I probably shouldn't say any more because everyone will love to prove me wrong, and I hope you do. And it'd be fantastic to see Kirsten winning the race, but it's interesting and it's fun to look forward. And I'm trying to do that on an unbiased sense, but let's just see what happens, and it'll be a bit of fun. I'll try and do that once a week. So every Friday, I'm going to make another prediction, and I might change my mind. So don't get too stressed on that. And now I'm quickly going to go through the comments and see what people are saying. Hi from Meek Tongue. Greetings from Hershey. God Globus. Wow. Hi to Pat. Trevor, hello from California. Claire, as regards homecoming, Pat Lawless is Greenwell is scheduled to. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. He's going to be there this afternoon. Yeah, so that'll be a bit of fun. Pat's up there. We'll put a post up, or we'll share it onto. We'll share his homecoming. It's he's done a bit of sailing since he retired from the GGR, delivering Urchin's boat, and now sailing all the way home to Ireland. So I'm sure he'll get a big hoo-ha when he arrives, and we're looking forward to seeing him in the 26 GGR. Boat with John, morning from sunny through. Not many comments, so that's it. So no one's bagging the prediction yet, but let's wait and see. So good luck to all the entrants, and have a great Easter and all that sort of stuff. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.